All these background noises you're hearing are from the Piazza, an open-air market place in Focșani, Romania, where I served as a Peace Corps volunteer many years ago. I recently went back there with my partner, who is also Romanian. I have a longing for a fluency in the Romanian language, which I never acquired. Poetry provided a relationship, a romance language, so in Romanian we shared a cultural affinity with the Indian languages my parents never bothered to teach me. In Romanian, I found the memory of all other languages, and when I hear a sentence, every word reminds me of a different history, a history of a language that did not colonize any other country, deeply intertwined with the many groups that pass through this part of the world, including the Roma. One story was that there was a fire every year, and that's why we named the city Focșani. Focșani, fire and years. We went with your father to buy wine in Jareștea, charcoals, little embers that made the first buildings and streets of our city. Warmth made our vague thoughts into words with a point. Urziceni, nettle that you make into pilaf. Afumați, the first smoked town on the way out of Bucharest. We went to buy gogosh. I called you Gogoshika. You have an extra magazine, our word for store. Păduraru, who guards the forests of Crung. Negrilești, what loses the darkness first. The wide back of a hill with fast slopes. Grumăzești. The villages here literally mean plains. Câmpeniaca, plain girl. Vârtejcoiu, the place where your hair swirls in interesting ways. Cerdac, porch for us to sleep outside because it was too hot. Movelița, a raising of land higher up but smaller than that. To learn our history went to the names of rivers. There is no reason to call this over that. Putna, a river or monastery, or the Rakshasi Putana that Krishna killed. Vrancha comes from Vrana, which is forest or mountain, but also the Sanskrit Vran, mountain. I recently watched a movie called Tale of the Wind, which reminded me of the current in Romania. A breeze or draft. When I would travel by train in the summer months from Focșani to Bucharest, the older people in the train would often never let me open a window because of the current. I didn't understand the reason for this. Was it just the cold air outside? And it made me think that maybe when you open a window, a bad spirit enters the room and you have to open another window to let it go out. Dreams become religion and we all become rich. Whatever hasn't aged well is the weather today. How can I understand what is going on inside you when I'm mostly looking? I like your face. You are not what you are finished about. I told you I'm from this particular graphic. You loved my 100-year-old body. You loved my hair. We learned to spell like the way we learned to look for people in the room. One finger over each other like a cage or trees that line the road. How did it come to be that we knew our phrases were stolen? The air shocks you when you say like. I wrote about the wind in Romania. I wrote your face creaks into. Shoulders fall away from the neck, fall through your wrist, radar-wise. Rosemary, for memory. We had a conversation where the sky was changing. Miss Lightband. In the sky that continues in Iowa, in a U that continues in two places. Clarissa, Cassandra. Some of the air outside I bottled up and gave to you. The umbrella of airports made my decision to peel an orange a certain way. Turmeric on my clothes, turmeric under my fingernails. We agree on the heck of us, the risks of Los Angeles. Long hair is attractive, long hair. I sit with my legs up, sit with my legs down. You weren't coming anyways, but I wanted to make sure you're not coming. You sneeze and press the accelerator, the roundabout a suggestion. One way is this way and that. I was the first in my family to drive, first in my family to know the day I'll die. To feel better, I ate a dozen shapes of departure, the last in a generation of lungs that grew young with the breath, warm ash in the nostrils. What I dismiss outright creates yesterday and today without warning. We talked a lot about how mouths live in the sickness of being like them, galloped into the phrase nothing adds up to much, bloomed in a dent in the rain, felt your arms like the paper we blew out.
Mai vins valori de Lucian?
Slobozia is a poem that takes place here in the piazza in Focșani when my dad came to visit me from the USA and we went to buy a screwdriver and the seller was Roma. Slobozia. I was born in year of Chernobyl, red clouds on Romania, iodine. Once had a car with calipers and spoons. I store winter, a throat for chrysanthemums and tunes. Insulate my windows with dirt and some gum. An EU country might seek the heat of mongering. I give reports to the secret police weekly, wear scarves for they say I have a totter face. My name is Comisariu, voice of pestle and taluk, my car of screwdrivers and gunshots. Trains give me a feeling of the personal. Our brothers have noses with the same name, Nak. Wet clothes on our body, Aprils and bruised vegetables. I trade Rome or fluid. My car, the only place that wasn't bricked, sells screwdrivers from the trunk, music on a piece of cloth. Whom do we accept as cheaters? Some people say I look dirty, so I rip you off. You accept as poetic. From the USA, you rip me off. Steal a kinship. I saw your brown face without knowing said, we're brothers.
Nu, adică vreau că se vede că unele sunt mai... Deci că lucrătura e un pic diferită.
Da, depinde că dacă nu sunt mai multe părți.
Da, nu
și apoi fiecare olar lucrează. Nu e unul la fiecare. Fiecare are firma lui.
unii sunt mai buni, alții mai proști. Și farfurile la cât sunt?
15 lei am luat. La 15 lei.
Da, sunt mai adevărat. Da.
Cât mai mult?
Cât costă?
5
lei.
Că vita era așa. Aveți vita acolo.
Da, da.
Avem, cred că da.
Se ferbi cu un orcov întreg, cu o ceapă întreagă, cu un ardei gras întreg. Se ferbe cu sabi.
That's my Romanian grandmother telling us how to make rasol, a clear beef soup. The ingredients you could buy in the piazza. Out of all the delicious food we ate on our visit, rasol came to be one of my new favorites, and it certainly was the last meal we had before we left.
Deși nu aveți costa. Nu avem, dacă vreți să înăuntru aici, în hală, înăuntru? Da. Am mai pe afară și tu nu ceva.
Asta e, mersi.